Welcome to my channel and to Sewing Made Easy. And believe me, today it is going to be so easy for you because I'd like to show you how you can do an umbrella skirt. Umbrella skirt? Yes, as wide as possible, and it's going to be so easy. Usually it is really a challenge to do a skirt like that, because you got two big problems. The first problem is how to cut it, because you need so many meters of material for it, and that's usually why that kind of skirt can be so expensive, because if you buy a nice material, you need some meters to get this cut correctly. The second challenge is, if you're not a trained seamstress or a tailor, then it is really difficult to get this bottom of the skirt beautifully and correct looking. But I will show you that that is all no problem. It's going to be so bloody easy. You're not going to believe it. I hope I got you nosy. And by the way, in case if you haven't seen my channel yet, of course I'm German. I am from Germany. If you look at my playlists, you will find one playlist that is only English-spoken explanations. So my name is Lilo Siegel, and watch out for my English playlist, Sewing Made Easy. But now I show you how easy it is to make this beautiful umbrella skirt that you already have seen behind me here on my video. Let's get started. Looking at a full-size pattern for an umbrella skirt, you see that it's nothing else but just a plain round piece of material. Of course, when you cut it from your material that you might have, you will have at least 4, 6 or 8 pieces that you have to stitch together for this one single skirt. So my suggestion is, go to a second-hand shop or market and try to find a nice tablecloth. You can see mine here. I got one with 67% polyester and 33% cotton, and that's ideal for my skirt. Because there's no cutting, I bought it for €2, which means you will never be able to find material, that amount of material for €2 anywhere. And with this tablecloth, my skirt in a certain way is already finished, because that's the second problem I explained to you. I explained to you how difficult it is to do a nice finish on the bottom on the seam. But when you buy a finished tablecloth, you got your bottom. The only thing you got to look when you buy it is, how long do you want your skirt to be? Will it be above the knee or underneath the knee? So measure that approximately, and then buy in that kind of size the tablecloth. And you need a stretch belt. I bought this one for €3.50, something like that, in one of the online shops. Which I don't need is the part to close it. That's why I'm going to open my seams up here and stitch just my stretch belt together without the buckles here. So that means that will be my top, which I will stitch on. And I explained to you that you can make this skirt in 2 different ways as well. Usually you have a skirt that is exactly the same length all the way around. That means when we cut now our waist part here, we will fold up this round tablecloth once exactly in middle, and then again exactly in 1/4. And here we will cut our waist part out. And that gives us an exact even length all the way around our skirt. But as you know, some people don't like it so ordinary normal. Then all you have to do, let's say you want it much shorter in the front and a bit longer or much longer in the back, then you don't fold it in half like that. You pull one part farther away. Now you measure on your tablecloth how much length do you have here and how much length you got there. And when we cut our hole here now for the waist belt, Then our front is much shorter and our back is much longer, which gives the skirt, of course, a total different look, but very nice as well. So that's just my little hint for you, what you can do in 2 ways with this tablecloth. So to repeat, we need a tablecloth in the length we want, and we need a stretch belt. So how do we continue? We got to work out how big we will cut our hole. Please take the exact measurement of your hip. My hip is 100 centimeter. These 100 centimeters I divide by 6, so I get a measurement of 16.6 period. But I will forget about the 0.6. I will take my 16 centimeters that I worked out, and I will fold my tablecloth exactly in half and in the quarter. That means I got this point here now. And from here on I continue with my tape measure. From my middle point I measure exactly those 16 centimeters and mark them for me. And maybe once you should also check this. So please measure exactly along the line you did there. And you see, I come out to 25 centimeters and I told you my hip is 100, so that's my exact width. And that is exactly what I cut out. Nice and even and round. And now I put little cuts in my quarters, which makes it easier for me for later on. And also I can put another little clip into here. So I got all even parts here at the moment, because exactly the same I will have to do with my belt. Now I go on my overlock and will go along my cut edge here to clean it off. As soon as you cleaned off the edge with the overlock or with the zigzag, whichever machine you got, you mark it in 8 even parts all the way around. You do the same with your stretch belt. You got it now evenly divided in those 8 parts. The skirt itself is facing the left side towards the outside. That means if I look inside here now as I got it lying, I see the proper side, the right side of my material, while my belt shows here my left side. You see, this is the left side of the belt, and the way I put the skirt inside this belt, my right side of the material is facing me here. Now I put one of my 8 point marks on top of each other. Which one you put on top of each other doesn't matter, because it's all even anyway, unless you made the skirt in the back longer, as an example, as I mentioned in the beginning. Then you of course should have your connection of the belt also on the back and not on the front. And exactly here is where we start sewing now, by slightly putting my material behind the edge of my belt. This particular stitching you could do with a cover lock or with a zigzag stitch, but sometimes the machines don't like to work, especially the household machines, with such different materials together. So you can use the normal straight stitch on your sewing machine, because as I made this material in the width of my hip, and I'm stretching it now exactly to this length again, that means I got no problem putting this skirt on, and I don't even need to put a zipper in. With other words, I'm going to stitch this all the way around from mark to mark that I got on, and my skirt will be finished. So now I've stitched all the way around once, and you can see, because I stitched it on that way, and now when I turn the skirt inside out again, this will be all my right side, but my left side is also nicely finished off. That's my finished skirt right now. Well, and that was the whole magic to do this skirt. Isn't that easy? You cut a hole in the middle of the tablecloth, you add a rubber belt, and that is it. So thanks for watching. I hope you give me some nice comments and let me know where in this beautiful world you're watching me from. I'm looking forward to that, and please stay healthy and stay tuned with my channel, with me. All the best until next time. Tschüss, as we say in Germany.